When the distress beacon first pinged across the outer rim of Sector Varnic 9, the Galactic Federation barely stirred. Another outpost overwhelmed? That was expected. This war was already being lost. But on Earth, buried beneath kilometers of rock in a facility humans called the Cradle, the signal hit something ancient. Something trained. An operator named Sergeant Miko caught the alert at 3:47 UTC. His blood ran cold. The frequency encrypted in an archaic pre-Federation code was unmistakably Terran. And the location? VARNAK-9. That wasn't just a distress call. That was a scream for help from a Terran colony. And humanity didn't ignore screams. Not anymore. High above the atmosphere, aboard the Un's Vindicator, Captain Sahil Rao stood in full combat armor, eyes locked on the flickering holographic display. His crew hand-picked Deathworld veterans waited silently. The message was on loop now, projected in crimson. This is Outpost 7, Varnic 9. Civilian loss, 89%. Enemy forces biomechanical, hive-type, non-communicative. Holding as long as possible. If any Deathworlders are hearing this, please make it hurt. Sahil didn't blink. Give me TACOM. Launch Protocol Epsilon 1. Earth strikes back. The Vindicator wasn't a fleet, it was the answer. Built for annihilation, not diplomacy. Where most galactic species built ships to intimidate or patrol, humanity built weapons. Because only humans came from a Class 5 death world, where evolution punched first. When the humans arrived at Varnic 9's orbit, the planet was in ruins. Burned forests, blacked out cities, lifeless oceans. But the worst part, the invaders hadn't stopped. They were digging, drop pods away. Dozens of tungsten hulled pods tore through the atmosphere like comets, slamming into the enemy forces. Sahel's boots hit dirt 2 minutes later, his railgun already humming. The landscape was crawling with insectoid machines, 10-limbed horrors that moved like liquid, metal and fed on carbon and bone. Visual on the swarm, Sahil growled, eyes glowing behind his visor. They ate civilians. Let's see how they digest uranium. The human squads moved like wolves, fast, coordinated, brutal. Heat rounds shredded the front lines. Grenades howled like banshees. Combat mechs screamed overhead, releasing mini nukes that turned hills into glass. And in the center of it all, Sahil stood Kong shooting, scanning, judging. One alien broke through the line, leaping toward him with serrated legs. Sahil caught it midair and crushed its skull beneath his boot. I thought you were apex predators, he spat. You're just bugs. Meanwhile, orbit side, other Federation vessels began to trickle in, drawn by the same signal, but too late to respond. A Varnari captain, Salvik 9, watched in stunned silence as his view screen lit up with Earth's fury. Is this ... sanctioned? He asked aloud. Got his science officer, a reptilian Drakari, gulped. I don't think the humans asked permission, sir. On the surface, explosions bloomed like fire flowers. The bioswarm was being wiped. Not pushed back. Not detained. Erased. By hour 4, the human squads had reached the core nest. A pulsating, vein structure half buried beneath the planet's crust. Thermal scans showed hundreds of thousands of larvae inside. Requesting orders, came Lieutenant Reyes. Sahil's voice crackled back. Burn it. A sonic shell fired from orbit struck the core within seconds. The ground cracked open like a split skull. Larvae shrieked and then evaporated. The shock wave flattened the surrounding 10 kilometers. No prisoners. When silence finally fell on Varnic 9, it was the kind that comes only after righteous violence. The humans stood among the ash, armor scorched, weapons glowing red. Reyes looked to Sahil. Sir, target neutralized. Confirm kill count? Sahil replied coldly. We didn't come for the count. We came for revenge. He tapped a panel on his gauntlet. Send message. To the Galactic Federation. This is Earth. We received your distress call. We responded. Let our enemies know when you call for Deathworlders, we don't send diplomats. We send judgment. 2 days later, The footage of the Varnic 9 response went viral across the galactic net. Millions of species watched in awe and horror as armored humans annihilated what had once been considered an unstoppable foe. Comment sections filled with the same word over and over: humanity, Deathworlders. Never provoke Earth again. Back on Earth, Sergeant Miko leaned back in his chair, watching the final report stream in. Outpost 7 confirmed destroyed. The AI said, but ... They fought. Civilians were armed. Resisted until the last breath. Miko smiled faintly. That's what we do. The screen flickered. A new alert flashed. New distress signal detected. Outer belt. Miko didn't hesitate. He pressed a single button. Dispatch Earth's response.